Imagine you're at the park with your dog. The sun is shining and your dog is busy sniffing the grass. You call his name, but he doesn't respond and stays lost in his own world. Does that sound familiar? You might wonder if your dog is just being stubborn or if there's something else going on. In this video, we get to the bottom of that question. The answer might surprise you. It is usually not because your dog is deliberately ignoring you or trying to be dominant. More often, it comes down to communication mix-ups or missing proper incentives. In short, most of the time, it is on us as dog owners if our dog does not listen. But here's the good news. If we are the problem, we can fix it by changing our behavior and learning to understand our dog better. Stick around. We will show you the most common reasons why dogs do not listen. With practical examples and science-based explanations, you will learn what is really behind your dog's behavior and how to change it. Let us get started. 1. Misunderstandings in communication. Does your dog really understand you? The first and maybe most important point. Dogs do not speak our language. Simply put, dogs cannot understand English or any human language on their own. A command like sit might be crystal clear to you, but your dog has to learn its meaning through training. Only by repeatedly linking a word with a specific action and rewarding it will your dog understand what you expect. Many dogs do not listen because they are not sure what we want. Every command needs to be taught clearly and consistently. If your dog is not following a command reliably, he may simply not have understood it. Make sure everyone in the household uses the same words for key commands, as a mix of terms can easily confuse him. If you are unsure whether your dog has truly learned a command, go back to basics in a calm setting. Use plenty of praise and rewards for every correct response to build a clear language between you and your dog. 2. Repeating commands and lack of consistency. The trap of learned indifference. Have you ever noticed that you have to call your dog several times before he finally responds? Many of us repeat commands over and over, but that is counterproductive. When you repeat a command, your dog learns that he does not need to react on the first call. Experts call this learned irrelevance because the command turns into background noise. Imagine you say sit 6 times until your dog finally sits. You have shown him that the first 5 times he can ignore the word. Your goal should be for your dog to respond to the very first command. How can you achieve that? Be consistent and act rather than just repeating words. Give a command only once. If your dog does not react, help him perform the action instead of repeating the command. For example, if he does not come when you call him, go over and gently guide him. Then reward him when he comes. If he eventually responds after several calls, praise him, but work on reducing those repetitions. Practice recall in a simpler setting so he learns that coming on the first call is best. The more consistently you train, the more reliable his listening will become. 3. Mood, tone, and body language. Small signals, big impact. Dogs are experts at reading our mood and body language. If you are feeling angry or annoyed, your dog picks up on that even if you try to sound friendly. He might think, oh, my person is mad, I'd better keep my distance. Who wants to invite trouble? In such moments, your dog is less likely to come because your vibe signals that something is off. Mixed messages only add to the confusion. If your words say everything is fine, but your body looks tense or angry, your dog will trust what he sees more than what you say. Often what looks like disobedience is really your dog feeling unsure about what you want or even scared by your mood. So pay attention to your tone and body language when speaking to him. Stay calm, speak in a friendly but firm tone, and adopt an inviting posture such as crouching rather than standing over him. Never call your dog just to punish him, as that can make him reluctant to come next time. If you are upset, take a moment to cool down before calling him and then reward him when he does come. This way your dog learns he is safe with you. 4. Motivation and trust. Why should your dog listen to you? Put yourself in your dog's paws and ask, what is in it for me? Dogs are much more likely to follow you when there is a clear benefit. They need motivation and trust. Your dog must learn that listening to you always brings something good. whether it is a treat, playtime, praise, or a smooth routine. If your dog has experienced that coming when called usually leads to something unpleasant, such as the end of fun or a scolding, his motivation to respond will drop. So try to make coming to you as rewarding as possible. Occasionally call him over and generously reward him without any negative consequences afterward. This way he links his name and recall with good things, not just with the end of play. Reward good behavior consistently. Find out what your dog loves best, whether treats, play, or petting, and use that as a reward. At the same time, avoid rewarding unwanted behavior. Trust is also key because your dog trusts you more when you are fair and patient. Not everything works right away, so if something isn't working, practice in an easier situation instead of getting frustrated. Also, keep your rules consistent. If no works one day but not the next, you will only confuse him. Be predictable, and your dog will see you as a reliable partner worth listening to. 5. Distraction and external circumstances. When the environment is noisy. Sometimes it is not you or your training methods that are the problem, but the situation. Strong distractions or natural instincts can make your dog tune you out for a moment. Imagine a rabbit suddenly darting by. Your dog might get so excited that he completely ignores your call. This is not because he is ignoring you on purpose, it is his natural hunting instinct kicking in. When a dog is highly excited, his brain goes on autopilot, and he may only notice the stimulus that grabs him. This is a natural reflex, not deliberate misbehavior. You can and should train your dog to listen even when distracted. Start training in a quiet setting and slowly introduce distractions. Over time, your dog will learn to pay attention even when something exciting is happening around him. Also, consider the stage of life. During adolescence, many dogs might seem to have cotton in their ears due to hormonal changes, so be patient because it will pass. A very energetic young dog or a puppy in love can be hard to slow down no matter how well trained, and older dogs might not hear or understand everything as clearly as before. Always rule out health issues like ear pain if your dog suddenly seems to have trouble hearing. Remember, your dog is not a machine. Some days will just be off. The key is to plan ahead, use a leash before something happens, and keep practicing patiently. With time, even in exciting situations, your dog will learn to listen better. Your dog's behavior is not about being disobedient on purpose. He always has a reason for not listening, and the best part is you can work on all these points to improve his listening skills. By communicating clearly, staying consistent, motivating him, and showing plenty of patience, your dog will be much more willing to listen in the future. If you want to practice these steps with video guidance and progress tracking, sign up for Hundeo now. The link is in the description. Now it is your turn. In which situations does your dog ignore you? Share your experiences in the comments. We are excited to hear from you. See you next time.